Hi, I'm Gary and welcome to Jargon Free Help. This week I want to talk to you about buying video cameras when you're away on holiday. This is something you need to be really careful about. A friend of mine recently went to America and he thought because it was high definition he wouldn't have to worry about the fact whether it's going to work back in the UK. He thought that aside from the past when we used to have all these different standards around the world, he thought that with HD it meant that he didn't have to worry about the different standards. But you do. It's still different for the US, the UK, and other markets around the world. So if you do buy a camera overseas, a camcorder that is, you still need to ask, will this work in the country that you're using it in? If you're not sure, contact the manufacturer and they will tell you which model you should get, or you can look it up online and make sure you get the right model. They will have slightly different model numbers indicating which countries they'll actually work in. You could do your research before you leave. I could go to a video store here, just make sure I get the model number here, the full model number, and then when I go overseas, make sure it matches exactly. And if it doesn't, you might have a problem when you go back to your country playing all your video. And you might think, well, is that really a problem? Because I would still download it to hard drive and computers shouldn't have a problem with it. They won't, but you still need to convert it to then put it onto a DVD, and that's where you'll run into trouble. So please check that you do get the right one. I hear this all too often that people have bought a camera and it doesn't work. Do the same when you're actually buying any electrical equipment when you're away on holiday. Make sure that it's designed for working in the country when you go back to it, that they've got the same voltages and that. These days, many of them do. Also, be aware, this has happened to me, I've been stopped by customs and been hit with a fine, so please be careful, please make sure you're aware of what you're allowed to bring in and out of the country. So with all of that in mind, I hope you do have good holidays and you do go and get video cameras and enjoy the experience, but we're going to take a look at this week's App of the Week. This week's App of the Week is one that I really like. It's called Gorilla Cam, and you do have a camera built into the iPhone, and it's actually not a bad camera. They just haven't added some features, which they will be doing in the new update. But what Gorilla Cam gives you is the ability to zoom. It also gives you a self-timer as well, so you can actually take photographs of yourselves. The only problem is you don't really have a tripod for that. That's the only downside to it. So it's actually very good for that. It also does time-lapse as well, so you can actually tell it to take, say, 20 photographs at 1 second intervals if you want to do something like that too. So Gorilla Cam gives you zooming, time-lapse, and also self-timer as well. So it's a good addition to your phone if you like taking photographs, and it was free as well. Just search for Gorilla Cam on iTunes and just download it and install it on your phone. It's a very good one to have. So that is this week's App of the Week. And now on to our new tutorials. I'm pleased to say that this week on the tutorials we've added a whole load on the iPhone. Many of you have asked for them and we've got them there now. There are just simply loads of them, so I'm not even going to mention what they are, but everything from saving battery power and a whole load of other features there. The iPhone is easy to use and very intuitive, but there are loads of extra features and I know that people want to know about those, so go and check those out. Next week we're going to be meeting up with Phil Franklin. He's going to be telling us about websites. Phil's a web expert and he has lots of tips on what you should be doing if you're going to be building a website or you already have one and what you should do to improve on it. So thanks for watching. See you next week.